Since I marry Kody, that I won't have any other family around except for just
my youth, my loyalty, and all of my love, only to be treated like the least important piece in his puzzle. Kody Brown never screamed those words at Kody Brown. They were silent truths buried inside her for decades, until one day, she stopped hiding them. The slow death of a marriage for years. Fans of Sister Wives saw Kody smile through pain, laugh through heartache, and pretend everything was fine. On screen, the Brown family looked like a quirky but functional household for wives. One husband and a lifestyle bound together by faith and commitment. But behind the facade was a slow implosion. Kody had always been the glue of the family, bubbly, welcoming, and nurturing. She cooked for 20 comforted children and kept the atmosphere light. Yet even the strongest spirit can crumble when she becomes invisible to the man she once called her eternal companion. The unraveling didn't happen overnight. Kody gradually stopped sitting beside her at family gatherings. He no longer asked her opinion on big decisions. Nights away became weeks away as he gravitated toward Robyn, his youngest wife. Then, the pandemic hit and his strict rules isolated him from Kody's children. Instead of finding balance, he grew even closer to Robyn, leaving Kody and her kids emotionally abandoned. Kody wasn't looking for perfection, only effort. But effort had been missing for years. Conversations turned shallow. Affection vanished. Then came the cruelest blow. Kody admitted he no longer wanted an intimate marriage with her. For Kody, that was the silent death of their relationship. Imagine dedicating decades to someone raising 6 children, protecting his reputation, managing a plural household, only to be told you are no longer desirable. For Kody, it was betrayal in its purest form, the breaking point. Kody held on for her children and perhaps for the hope Kody might one day value her again. But hope has limits. The final straw came when Kody dismissed her dream of moving back to Utah to be near her adult kids and grandchildren. He brushed off her deepest desire as if it didn't matter. The infamous Coyote Pass argument sealed her decision. Kody spoke to her about land and property like she was a business associate, not a wife. Kody responded with silence, but in that silence was resolve. I will no longer fight to stay where I am not wanted. There was no dramatic exit, no slamming doors, no screaming. Kody simply began packing quietly and steadily. Her choice was loud without words. When she finally told Kody on camera, I don't want to be married to you anymore. It was like watching someone break the surface after drowning for years. Kody, stunned, tried to argue, claimed she couldn't leave without a spiritual divorce. Kody stood firm. I'm not legally married to you. I haven't loved you for a long time. Leaving? In that moment, Kody became a symbol for every woman stuck in a one-sided relationship. From survivor to inspiration, the internet exploded. Fans cheered her bravery. Reddit threads, TikTok videos, and Twitter hashtags celebrated her strength. Kody didn't scream or play for drama. She simply chose peace. After leaving, Kody didn't waste time listing Kody's failures. Instead, she spoke of breathing easier, laughing more, and loving herself. She told the world, I realized I deserved more. Not just from a man, but from life. She left Flagstaff and returned to Utah, to her roots and her peace. For the first time in decades, she had her own home, her own rules, her own narrative. Her social media reflected the transformation. The smile was the same, but the eyes were different. No longer searching for validation, but grounded in self-worth. She shared pictures of hikes, dinners with her children, and moments of pure joy. Fans didn't just like her posts. They toasted her freedom. Kody's glow wasn't just emotional, but physical too. She embraced healthier habits, yoga, long walks, not for revenge, but for strength. Her posture improved, her confidence radiated, and interviews showed a woman no longer defensive, but empowered. TLC noticed instead of the comic relief side wife, Christine became the center of her own story. Viewers weren't tuning in for Kody anymore. They were tuning in for Christine. She told the cameras, "I finally feel like I can breathe, like I'm not walking on eggshells anymore." From option to only the most powerful shift came when Christine admitted what fans always suspected. She was never treated equally. While she gave her all to the family, Kody consistently favored Robyn by leaving. Christine not only freed herself but also exposed the imbalance of the system. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. Kody was no longer the patriarch. Robyn was left the last wife standing. And Christine, she wasn't the victim anymore. She was the victor. Her children noticed the change too. With their mother happier and more present, their own healing began. Together, they laughed, cooked, and built new memories untainted by tension. Christine's words became mantras online. "I choose happiness every single day now." Just because it was a spiritual marriage doesn't mean I owed him my life. I feel like I'm finally becoming who I was always meant to be. She was no longer someone to pity. She was someone to admire. Finding real love, and then came the chapter no one saw coming. David Woolley. It began with a quiet photo. Christine in a flannel shirt beside a tall, gentle man with kind eyes. Her caption was simple: "I finally found the love of my life." David wasn't famous. He wasn't chasing cameras. A widowed father from Utah, he embodied loyalty, presence, and respect. He wasn't juggling wives or defending himself on reality TV. He was just there fully and consistently. Their romance started off-screen. Hikes, dinners, movie nights with kids. No drama, no confessional interviews, just real life. Christine shared that what struck her most was his effort. He called, he texted, he listened. "He sees me," she wrote a statement that resonated across the globe. When they went public, fans erupted in support. Side-by-side comparisons flooded social media. Kody, bitter and distant. David, calm and devoted. One viral TikTok read: "Christine left a man with 3 wives for a man who treats her like 3 queens in one." Christine's joy was undeniable. Her smile was effortless. Her eyes sparkled with authenticity. On her birthday, David decorated their home and showered her with thoughtful gifts. Christine posted, "I've never been treated like this in my entire life." Imagine that. After 25 years in a marriage that drained her, Christine was finally experiencing simple, genuine love. In her words, "With Kody, I always felt like I was fighting for my place in his heart. With David, I never have to wonder." A new chapter when David proposed, it wasn't for cameras, was intimate, tender, and filled with love. Christine said yes, and the internet celebrated louder than ever. She had gone from an invisible wife in a polygamous marriage to a radiant woman at the center of her own life. Not because she sought revenge, but because she sought resurrection. Christine Brown didn't just
Past.
I'm not rewriting the past.
Yes, you have been, Kody.
I'm not rewriting
You're like,
the
I
past.
didn't
I'm being
love it.
honest about it
Okay,
because
explain
we're
that
not.
to me.
While Christine Brown's love life bloomed, sister wives began showing a very different picture of Kody. He was bitter, confused, and defensive. On camera, he blamed Christine for destroying the family, called her manipulative, and accused her of betrayal. But the audience wasn't buying it anymore. Fans had watched the neglect, the favoritism, and the emotional distance for years. The verdict was clear. Kody had 4 wives and lost 3. Christine found one man and finally found peace. Even Kody's own children sided with their mother while Christine focused on her new love and new life. When she announced her engagement to David Woolley, the internet erupted. Within hours, her video had over 1 million views. Reddit demanded a Christine and David spinoff. TLC hinted at specials. Why? Because Christine's story was never just about romance. It was about justice. She had endured fire and walked out wearing white, hand in hand with a man who chose her completely. Standing beneath a white arch in Moab, Utah, Christine's words rang with power. It's my forever." Her voice was steady, her eyes wet with tears, her heart finally at rest. For millions watching, this wasn't just a wedding, it was a triumph. Happily ever after in Moab. In October 2023, Christine dropped a single photo that shook the sister. Wives Universe. A sweeping shot of red rock cliffs, Christine in white, David smiling as if he'd won the lottery. The caption read, "I finally found my happily ever after." Within minutes, Instagram was flooded. TikTok exploded with reaction videos. Major outlets like People and News rushed to cover it. Fans weren't just celebrating a marriage, they were celebrating closure. This wasn't another plural wedding with rituals and divided attention. It was hers, wholly and unapologetically. The cliffs of Moab, where Christine once filmed painful scenes after leaving Kody, now became her sanctuary of redemption. Christine's dress was modest yet modern, elegant yet strong. It wasn't just fabric. It was a declaration. I am the one and only. David, in a simple gray suit, never looked away from her. No cameras, no production crew, just family, friends, and authentic love. The most moving detail. Her 6 children, Aspen, Michael T, Peden, Gwendolyn, Jezebel, and Truly all stood proudly beside her. Photos showed them barefoot, laughing and dancing in the canyon wind. Another captured David kneeling to fix Truly's necklace tenderly like the father figure she'd long deserved. It was the wedding they had never seen with Kody, and it was the love Christine had never been given. Fans rejoiced on social media. Comments captured the global mood. She finally got the wedding she deserved. No jealousy, no cameras, just love. Christine's wedding feels like closure for every woman who stayed too long. That wasn't just a wedding. That was a statement of self-worth. Some called it the greatest plot twist in reality TV history. TLC wasted no time. In November 2023, they aired Kody Brown, Happily Ever After, a cinematic special tracing her journey from heartbreak to healing to love. Showed her first gown fitting tender moments with David writing vows, and her daughters sharing what this new chapter meant to them. Christine's walk down the aisle wasn't just symbolic of a new marriage. It was her final step away from decades of spiritual polygamy, broken vows, and emotional neglect. Silence from Flagstaff while Christine danced and toasted her freedom. Flagstaff fell silent. Kody did not attend the wedding. He didn't even call. Robyn, still the only wife left, reportedly struggled to accept how quickly Christine had moved on. But fans weren't sympathetic. Online forums echoed the same line. Christine glowed up, Kody burned out. For years, Kody had positioned himself as the patriarch at the center of it all. Now, stripped down.